And I'm like, what?
Oh my God. I couldn't get over it, dude. That was the one highlight of this episode for me. I'll just say that.
That one made me laugh. I'm like, come on, Amy. Like, really? Like,
oh my God. Hello and welcome to the 90s Nightmares podcast. Congratulations. You found your new favorite podcast. If you loved watching things like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and if you particularly love all of the Halloween themed episodes from shows like Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Batman, you're here. You made it. And man, I'm so happy for you, man. This show has two hosts. My name is Darek.
And my name is Booze.
And we are happy to see you. All right, cool. So in this episode of the 90s Nightmares podcast, we're doing a couple of things. We're going to run through the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. It's called The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. And then if we have time at the end, we may hit on some other fun stuff, but we'll see what we're looking like after we get through with the recap.
Okay, sounds good.
Booze, before we get started, man, can I ask you a question?
I guess. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Thank you. You're always so willing. I appreciate you, man. So a lot of people, not a lot, but a few people have messaged me and they said, hey, man, it's cool that you have a podcast. I didn't know that just anybody could do it. And I said, well, yeah. Anybody can do it, man.
Anybody.
So just in case for the few people that are out there that just like see these two regular dudes doing something and they kind of want to do the same for themselves, let's talk about like our mics real quick. Do you have a second for that? And then we'll jump into the episode.
Yeah, I can do that.
So what mic are you using?
I am currently using the Shure SM, is it SM7B? Yeah, or something. Yeah. Or SM7B. Yeah, like the microphone pretty much you see across the board on everything. So
that runs new from memory, $350, maybe $400 ish. Am I right on that?
Yeah, it was right around. I think it was right shy of 400 when I bought it. I think it was like a Christmas sale last year or something like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, are you using a cloud lifter with it too then, just to bump up the volume or no?
Yes, I am.
You are?
I am.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
They really should just sell those as like a package, man.
Yeah, because even I noticed when I was buying it, that was like, if you bought this, then you'll probably like this. And within Amazon, because everybody that I've talked to has to have the cloud lifter because how quiet this microphone is. So it's a great microphone, but it's very quiet. So you definitely need that. As I remember asking somebody, and they're like, you don't need the cloud lifter, but I mean, if you have the extra cash to do so, you might as well throw it down because at some point you're gonna want to pick it up.
A lot of that comes too from, excuse me while I stutter all over everybody. Yeah, a lot of that comes from like you don't need the cloud lifter if you have like a solid, like a badass interface, right? Like a very expensive interface,
right?
Which most folks don't. If you're just like scraping together to get a Shure SM7B on a Christmas sale, you're likely going to have like a mid-level, low-level interface. And if you turn the volume gain on that sucker all the way up to make the Shure microphone sound as loud as every other microphone, you're introducing a lot of
background noise.
Yeah.
And it sounds awful when you do that. So
that's why some people say you don't really need one. The people that say that are using $1,000 interfaces that just have the cleanest preamps possible.
Right.
So that's why.
Yep.
Now, when I was using the Shure SM7B, I also had the cloud lifter, which was super dope. But since then, I switched over to the Audio-Technica. It's called an AT4040. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's in the same price range. I don't know. Basically, I spent an entire ass day just dialing in the sound of my Shure SM7B to where it sounds super good. And then I spent that was the first half of the day. The second half of the day was swapping out this microphone and dialing it just as good as I can, just to try to get them to sound as similar as possible. And I just preferred the way that this AT4040 sounds. It's super uncommon to see it on a podcast, but for like voice acting stuff and, maybe some narrating stuff, which is what you and I also do on the side.
Right.
It's top notch, man. So I like it for that. And I'm not going to switch it out just for the podcast, dude. I like the way it sounds.
Yeah, I was going to say you sound good to me. So is that a microphone you got on a recommendation, or were you fumbling through videos on YouTube and seeing that and you're like, oh man, I kind of want to try this?
Yeah, the microphone. So I own the SM7B and the AT4040 for one reason. And that's because there's a producer named Joey Sturgis who recorded bands like Asking Alexandria, all the old Devil Wears Prada stuff.
Nice.
He recommended the Shure SM7B for screaming vocals and the AT4040 for clean singing vocals. And I've ran, my own home recording studio for the last 10 plus years. So, and if we're going to be doing bands that want to sound like, Asking and Devil and Miss May I and whoever else he did, there's dozens of them. I should get those same mics as well. And here I am 10 years later, not using them for that anymore, but using them to read books and do podcasts with my buddies.
I mean, that's cool. Okay. Well, there you go. Right. A little bit more history behind the scenes, like behind the music for Derek Weber Scary Stories here.
And booze too. Cool. Well, let's close those curtains real quick.
Okay.
Boom. Curtain closed.
All right.
No more sneak peeks. Let's talk about the show. That's what we're here for, right?
That's what we're here for.
All right, brother. So this episode is called The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. It originally aired on September 12th, 1992 on Nickelodeon, or forgive me, Snick.
Yeah, Snick.
As it was. Can we rate this right away, just so I can kind of gauge where you are?
Yeah, do you want me to give yours? Because I know you gave it a 5, right?
Yeah, in Bizarro's world, dude, this got a solid 1 out of 5 for me, man.
Yeah, same. That's exactly what I was going to give it. And I think 1 is generous, is very generous.
I have a reason why I didn't give it a 0, and it's not just because I didn't know 0 was an option. There is a reason why I gave it a 1 out of 5, but I'll get to it here in just a little bit because I got to work my way up.
Okay.
But do you have any particular reasons as to why you gave it not a 5 stars like I thought you were? Because this episode slaps.
There's a lot of reasons why I think that, and I think as we get into the episode, I'll probably just drop those here and there when we're talking about them, because there's quite a few reasons why I didn't like this episode at all. Let's
dive in, man. So I don't even know where to start with this one.
Yeah.
And disclaimer, Booze and I love Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is not a podcast to bash
not at
things that happened in the 90s. Quite the opposite, right?
Exactly.
But when you make 91 of something, not all of them are going to be great. Some of them are just going to be straight up bad. So hang with me here while I recap this, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to try and make it as painless as possible.
Okay. All right.
Now, yes, let's do this, dude. So we open up on the Midnight Society, right? Some of them are setting up the campsite. Now, I like this mostly because it shows a little bit, I guess I just realized this is very dad of me, but it just shows that the kids that meet up at this campsite have responsibilities, right? And there's rules to showing up on time, and there's rules for setup and breakdown and everything else.
Right.
And we get to see them. Some of them are early, some of them are late, and we get to see them complain about the people that are late. And Gary, the leader, is like, yeah, we got to, set rules for latecomers now. And
we're going to have to make a rule about latecomers.
I thought that was just a cool glimpse,
Yeah. Yep. That is kind of funny to have that dynamic, especially with a bunch of kids. Because I can honestly say, I don't know, even at that age, when I was their age, I don't think I had too many, myself included, and any of my friends. Like, there was never any quote unquote rules. Like, they were just kind of just doing our own thing. So it is kind of funny to see that dynamic when you point it out.
Yeah. Which I really appreciate. And again, maybe that's just the dad in me and the dad in you that appreciates it as well. But
yeah,
I thought that was cool to see. Moving on. Kristen is late. She's the one who's telling the story because she had to stop and grab her hound dog, whose name is Elvis. And the commentary that goes back and forth between the Midnight Society here is just top-notch writing, dude. The one girl that was like, my dad says Elvis is king.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I thought that was hilarious too.
And then I think David was the other Midnight Society member who said, oh, he ain't nothing but a hound dog. It was just,
yeah. Yeah.
It's like I was going to school for good writing in that moment. It was great.
Yep.
Here we go. Now, that's the Midnight Society intro. Now we fast forward to the actual story, right? So we're in Pam's attic and we're looking through a bunch of old stuff. Okay. Now we get to learn that cousin Amy is staying with Pam for the summer. And this is one of the things that they're choosing to do to kind of just pass the time because they live on a farm. kind of rural, not a whole lot of things to do, right? So
Right.
let's just go raid the attic and see what we see.
Like you do. Yeah.
I love, like you do, I love Amy's introduction because Pam's she's like, Amy, check this out. I found this old book and I found this old necklace and isn't this cool, Amy? And Amy's not saying a word. And it's almost like, is this girl talking to herself real quick? And then the camera kind of pans over to the other side of the attic where we get to see this cool, like circular grated window, which looks like super, I don't know, not Victorian, but I don't know, like age appropriate and just super cool, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to see Amy in her all white wedding gown, I guess, scaring the crap out of Pam.
Right.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed that scene too.
I thought she looked great. Now, also, no lie, I had to watch this episode 4 times just to understand what was going on because I kept getting distracted, dozing off,
Right.
not paying attention. Dude,
Yep.
this episode was just so hard to hold on to for me. Was it hard for you too?
Very much so. I think I probably rewatched it at least. I would say probably around the same times as you did because it was tough, man. I found myself constantly because normally I watch the episodes in here so I can in my little makeshift studio thing so that I can actually write. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put this on in the background and I'm gonna start watching and writing. And then I found myself not long into that getting distracted and started like working on thumbnails and doing other stuff because I'm just like, man, this episode is not grabbing me at all. And I'm making any excuse to get away from it at this point.
And when I realized that, I thought I was scared. I was scared for a second, dude, because I thought I was in danger. I thought, oh, do I just not like this because the leads are just 2 girls? Like, am I going to get canceled when I tell everybody this?
Yeah.
So, but to hear you say, you agreed with it. And then when I looked at the IMDb reviews, this is the lowest rated show of this season. I thought, oh, thank goodness. I'm not sexist. This is just a legit bad episode.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. I know.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what
it was
a relief.
Tough.
Now, and that makes me think too, a couple episodes ago, oh yeah, The Tale of the Lonely Ghost, that had 2 female leads as well. So it's
right.
be that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just the writing on this one, dude.
It is. I think it's the writing and a lot of the delivery too. It comes off flat to me.
Most deaf. All right. So getting back to the show, Amy says, I don't believe in ghosts, right? And then all of a sudden a trunk falls over, things spill out. I think they see pictures, like old Polaroids of Aunt Dora.
Who looks very similar to somebody, like almost exactly like somebody.
What they should have done was just used Pam, just taken a photo of her.
Yeah.
Just called that Aunt Dora. I wonder why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Would have saved a bunch of time too.
Yeah.
We get to see Aunt Dora and her horse. Her horse's name was Mirage. And getting back to what you just said, Aunt Dora looks a lot like Pam. Quick side note, because not only is this episode hard to watch, but it's hard to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Pam looks a lot like, and before I even realized, this is like my 3rd viewing, that her name was Pam, I was saying to myself, dude, she looks a lot like Pam from The Office. Did you pick up on that at all?
Yeah, she did a little bit, like the way her hair was and stuff like that. She had that receptionist going on for sure.
Had very, Pam Beasley-like qualities. And then finally, when I watched it for a 3rd time, that's when I learned her name was Pam. And I went, oh,
there you go. Look at that.
I'm going to remember her name now. Promise.
Yeah.
Now, later, Pam shows Amy her horse, but she's not allowed to ride it because Pam's mom had a sister who was named Dora. Oh, Aunt Dora. Got it.
Yeah.
Who, I guess, what's the message? She died when her horse fell on her? Is that what we're grabbing onto?
That was my interpretation of it. I don't think they ever really go into it like in depth or anything like that, but that was my interpretation of it. And it also made me laugh too when Amy was standing on that fence, like trying to give the horse the carrot, or not Amy, but Pam was, and trying to get Amy to come check this horse out. And then her mom comes like flying up and just lays on her horn, scares her, and then she falls. Yeah. I don't know why that scene made me laugh. I'm like, why are you laying on your horn like that? Like,
it's because it's funny, dude. It's because it's so bad, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah.
I guess I can't speak for you, but dude, I was cracking up too. Like, how are you going to sneak up on these 2 girls in your car and then just lay on the horn when one of them's climbing a fence, dude? Also, did you notice how quickly she pulled out that carrot out of her back pocket? Like you do?
Does it bite?
Nah, he's just a big baby. Watch.
Oh yeah, she snatched that carrot out. It's just like, Pam was keeping that thing on her. That's for sure. She just had that. I'm surprised there wasn't like a nice little holster, like a gun holster on her side or something. She put carrots in just to snap that thing out real
Pam
quick.
was staying strapped.
Yeah.
So I know it's a meme and I know it's a joke to have like a holster on your waist that you save just for like hot sauce, right? Have you seen that meme?
I have.
There's a dude that I see at my local grocery store that actually has that in real life, and I've never seen him without it. Over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I see him once every few months, and he's always got that thing on him, dude.
Is that like a customer, or is he like a worker at that place that just has it on him?
He's a customer. He's got his grocery cart. He's shopping for his his week.
Right on. You never know, man. Like it's true. You never know when you might just, oh shit, I need to grab this hot sauce out real quick and get this for a test drive. So I have seen have you seen the, because if I had to pick my favorite hot sauce, it's definitely sriracha. And I got some for Christmas last year. I don't have them anymore, but they have like little keychain, like these small little versions you can hang on your keychain of them. So in a way, I'm kind of that guy.
I have seen the keychains,
but not quite. I haven't got to that level yet. I'm hoping that I'm not ever that guy, but we'll see. We'll see what the future brings.
Okay, so here's one more thing that I'm learning about you. We do not agree on hot sauce because I am a Frank's guy.
Oh man, that's like, everybody's got their opinions. I guess Frank's.
Hey, can I give you? Yeah. Can I give you and the listener a pro tip here? If you like spicy, if you like hot sauce, if you have a local pizzeria, right? Not a Pizza Hut or a Domino's, but if you have like a local mom and pop pizzeria that sells, pizza, breadsticks, wings as well.
Yeah.
Ask them to put whatever they put on their wings, the wing sauce, onto their cheesy bread and cook it like that. You see where I'm going?
I do.
So if before they put that cheesy bread in the oven, just put a coat of Frank's or sriracha or whatever hot sauce they have on there and then send it through. It's so good. It's like buffalo wings and cheesy bread.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Yeah, that sounds really, really, really good. Yeah.
And it's not as messy. Can we get back to the episode?
Sure. Yeah, you might want to pull me in that direction because I'll talk about hot sauce for longer than I should. So.
Oh my God, cool. Now, and this scene has 2 of my favorite lines, right? And I'm willing to bet that one of yours is in this scene too. So Amy goes, so what? He's like a big dog, right? Oh no, wait, I said that backwards. She says, so he's like a big dog, so what?
So he's like a big dog, so what?
Yeah.
So snotty.
Yeah, so snotty. It's if she had red hair, we'd be getting the Molly Ringwald thing going on a little bit. Not quite as bad, but for sure, I got those vibes.
Sure.
Got those vibes.
Yes, dude. So then that's when Mom sneaks up, blares the horn. Pam falls off the fence, gets hurt, and then we kind of fast forward a little bit to later that day where they're sitting on a picnic table, right? And they found a Ouija board from the attic from earlier. They brought it down. They're playing with it on the lunch table, and the Ouija board spells out LETMEOUT. And when Amy says, "Leet mount,"
yeah, dude, I was dead. I was dead when she said that. I'm like, what?
Late now. No.
Oh my God, I couldn't get over it, dude. That was the one highlight of this episode for me.
Yeah, that one made me laugh harder than Mom laying on the horn. I'm like, come on, Amy, like really, like. Is that one was hard. That was, and then I'm surprised that Pam didn't give her a lot more crap afterwards, because I know if I was playing on a Ouija board and my friend said leap mount, I'd be like, everything would stop and I'd probably just stare at him for 30 seconds. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
what?
You did not just say leap mount to that. Oh, and then the second thing that the board reveals is a combination. It's 1, 4, 9. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's
so guess where they go now?
Oh yes, it's back to the chest.
That's right. They go back to the attic. Now, we haven't talked about this yet, but they found a chest in the attic, right? That might have been making some funny noises or looked haunted in a particular way. I don't know if it was really extrapolated on.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with my understanding. So, but I could be wrong.
Same here, but it's up to the viewer to put the two together that the code that the Ouija board just gave likely goes to the combination lock that's on the chest, that's locking the chest, right?
Right.
So they go back up to the attic, they plug in the code 149 into the lock, chest opens, right? And then it's dusty. It actually looks kind of cool. It's dusty. You get to see.
Did they put
dust.
some dry ice or something in that chest? Because it was like steaming. It wasn't even like dust. It looked like it looked like they put some blocks of dry ice in the bottom of it because there was just literal like fog rising out from that chest.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'm not a prop master, but I can't think of anything else that they would have used other than just dry ice in the bottom.
Yeah.
Cool. That was a good touch though, whatever it was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So chest opens, we get to see Aunt Dora's riding clothes, okay? So Pam puts on the jacket, and then she starts acting weird. And one of the things that I liked about this episode, I know I'm dogging on it, but there are some cool aspects, right? And one of those things is when she puts the coat on, you get this like musical swirl, and it's very like, euphoric, and it's very victorious, and it's like, regal almost. She looks at herself in the mirror. Her hair is down now. It's been up the entire episode, but now her hair is down. And she's acting very weird, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this moment, did you know exactly what was going on?
I got a pretty good idea almost immediately that, okay, especially when she started talking, but I did want to hit on one thing too, because I know you just said that, but the music took me out of it. I did not like the music coupled with this whatsoever, because the music to me sounded almost like medieval, like in like a night type of thing. And I don't know, that's the vibe I got off of it. And it was not, for me personally, I was not enjoying the music whatsoever. I was not into it. It almost, like I said, it took me out of the scene completely, which I was already barely in it to begin with, but the music was just like I was not feeling it whatsoever.
Okay, for sure. Now you're talking about not the entire episode, but you're talking about this particular scene that we are talking about now, right?
It was pretty much whenever the camera would go on to Pam, and she was doing the whole Aunt Dora routine, and that music crescendo would happen like almost every single time. And every single one of those scenes where they did that music coupled with that, I was immediately like, I'm not feeling this.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. For sure. Because I guess doing the math, right? It's likely those clothes were from 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
But the music is making it sound like it's like, I got Victorian vibes, but you're getting medieval vibes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going back way
I'm getting
back, dude.
My lord. I'm getting that kind of like vibes, like that type of thing.
Say that again. You're getting what vibes?
My lord, like hello, my lord, like that type of thing.
Okay. My lord.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, my lord, my lady, like that type of thing. Like going to medieval times. Whenever you've ever been to a medieval times restaurant where they do the do the jousting and stuff like that. It's that type
Never been
of thing.
to the restaurant. I have been to the Renaissance Festival, though. Have you been to those?
I've been to a couple of those, yeah. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Is that kind of the same thing? Just one has like a sit-down food area?
Yeah, it's pretty much the thing. They just put on a show. So you have like, I think 6 different nights, and they each have individual colors, and then it's a big giant arena, and they give you a specific color when you enter after you buy your ticket, and then you sit in each designated coloring spots. So if you're there and they give you stuff for the blue night, they give you these blue crowns. So you sit in the blue night section and you cheer for the blue night the whole time. And it's just a big like fight where they actually joust and they have lancing and stuff like that. And then you feast and stuff. It's pretty badass. I'm not going to lie. Like if you're into anything like that, which I love everything and anything medieval, that's exactly what it is. And it's really, really fun. They're all over America, but yeah, again, that was going back to the episode. That was the vibe, like like when a knight is arriving to some type of thing, and then you get the little peasants that come out and blow the bugles or the horns and stuff like that, and then the flag gets presented. Like that's immediately like that's what I was thinking of. So to me, it wasn't going hand in hand with the horse lady.
Just another reason why this episode made no sense.
yeah, exactly.
Right? So let's cruise. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to call her Aunt Dora now, right? Because Pam has just embodied the spirit of Aunt Dora, so that's what we're going to call her, at least for the next little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Dora, with her riding jacket and her hair down, she goes over to that same big round window that I talked about earlier, and she opens it.
Yep.
And we see this, like, actually this dope staircase that goes from the window down to the ground.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
right?
I did too.
Aunt Dora starts going down, descending, for all you smarties out there, descending the staircase in what feels like slow motion, dude. And this whole like next 5 minutes just feels like, I don't know, dude. They were like, hold up, we need to fill 24 minutes and we only have 12. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, let's we can get at least a minute off this staircase, so let's go ahead and do that.
Minimum for sure. So she's walking in the slowest motion possible. And the whole time Amy's like, Pam, no, you don't have to do this. You're freaking me out. And she's just doing the thing where it's like, come back here.
Right.
You're really starting to scare me now, Pam.
Yeah.
She's doing that for the next 5 minutes.
Yes.
Doesn't stop.
Yes.
Go with my favorite episode, by the way. Okay, going on. So Pam mentions Mon Petit Rouge. No, wait. Aunt Dora. Sorry, I'm getting my names mixed up. So Aunt Dora, one of the first times she actually speaks is when she mentions this little red fox that she called Mon Petit Rouge.
Yeah.
I hope my French is good on that.
Oh, I'm sure it's perfect. Sure it's perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, that's her little secret fox pet, right? I guess she feeds it. She looks after it. Whatever. Nobody else in the family knows that she is friends with this fox. Is that the message?
I guess I don't know, man. This is your guess is as good as mine at this point because this is a stretch here.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. So now Pam, Aunt Dora, recalls that she let the fox loose in the barn, right? Because one morning she gets up early on the day of one of her horse races, I suppose. She gets up early, goes to the barn. She sees that Mon Petit Rouge is in the cage that I guess she keeps her in. I don't know, dude. And he appears to be cold. He's shivering. He also looks hungry, I guess. So he lets her out of the barn. And then what happens next? Let me hit my notes. The dogs start to smell this fox, right? And they kind of start going crazy. And then did I fall asleep again, dude?
I think the only thing that I don't know if it needs mentioning, but the dude that walked up when they were in the graveyard, do you remember that scene? And I'm not even sure who was that supposed to be. Who was that?
We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not. Okay. So I'm getting a little bit ahead then. Okay.
A little bit. But his name was Giles, and he was one of the stable keepers. I learned that on my fourth watch.
Okay. Maybe I needed another watch. Okay.
I'm telling you, dude, I love this show, and I love doing this podcast with you. But this episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark was just such a chore, bro.
It was very much, very much. Okay. Anyways,
we're chugging along, bro. Yeah. Let's do this thing. So that was Giles. He pops up in just a minute. Back to the fox, right? So the dogs are now aware that a fox is loose in the barn because they haven't been all night. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs start chasing the fox. The fox looks up at Aunt Dora because she's still in the barn. The fox smiles at her and runs away. We don't know what happened to the fox. Okay, so then Aunt Dora leaves the dogs loose, I suppose, and then she runs to the horse race. I don't know, dude. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. Anybody that's watching this along with us, I guarantee they're probably in the same mindset and mind space as we are at this point. So,
oh, buddy.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I hope you are watching along with us. We're watching every episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark in, I guess, what we're calling IMDb order, which is about as accurate as we could hope to get at this point. If there's a more accurate way that you know, please comment or leave a review letting us know. So that way we're all on the same page. But we're cruising in IMDb order at the moment. And quick break to talk about 3D Mini Print Shop.
Ooh,
Mini
yeah.
3D Print Shop.
Yes.
which this is a shop on Etsy, right? They make many 3D things. A lot of them are nostalgia based. A lot of them are from the 90s. Let me show you one. One of the things that they made for us are these custom Nickelodeon splat signs, all right? Mine says Darek. Booze has one too. Can you guess what it says? These are 3D printed, dude, and the quality is like super dope. I dropped it when I opened it. At first, if you watched the last episode, you got to see me drop it, and it's perfectly fine. No cracks, no breaks, no nothing, dude. And it's like sanded very well on the back and even on the front too. I love this thing. Now, if you want to get your own with your own name on it, visit the shop, the Etsy shop that's going to be linked in the description of this podcast or in this YouTube video, however you're watching it. You're going to get 25% off if you use the discount code Nightmares.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty dope, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love mine. I've got both of mine on display right now, and I plan on ordering some more in the future. I think I'm going to pick up one for my son as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to get one for my boys as well. How can you not, dude?
Yeah, how can you not? It's awesome.
So here's what I suggest to you, the listener. Visit the shop, get one of your own, all right? When it comes in, take a picture of it, send it to us.
Yes.
I will make some kind of collage, so some kind of pick stitch with all of them together, just so we can see, just so we can kind of come together as a community. Because that's one of our goals here.
Yep. I think you should get one that says Mon Petite Rouge on it.
Oh, well, naturally, yeah. I mean, I have to show love for my favorite Dark episode, right?
I think so.
Mon Petit Rouge. I'm going to get one that says Pam and Amy, and I'm just never going to know which one is which.
Oh, you know what would be even better than that? I think you should get one. If you're going to get that, then no, I'm going to steal this one. This is the one I'm getting. I'm going to get one that says Leap Mount on it.
Oh my God, dude. Leap Mount. Yeah, let me see a custom Leap Mount Nickelodeon splat sign.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Jesus. All right, man. Listen, we're almost done. All right, let's get through this.
Yep, let's do it.
So, where were we? They end up in the woods. All right, and while they're walking, Aunt Dora tells the story to Amy about Mon Petit Rouge, and I don't know what the point of that was yet, at least. And then we get to meet Giles, who's this ghostly stable keeper. I love the voice effect that they use on this dude. Did you catch that?
You should have fed them while they were alive.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed that. Like, it was, if I had to pick something out of those scenes that I liked, it was definitely that.
That was probably the scariest scene of the episode.
I think
right?
so. I think so.
And the show creator, DJ McHale, he's gone on record saying multiple times that the goal of every episode is not to be scary. He intentionally wrote scary ones and bad ones. Okay, so let's move on. The girls run away. The girls run away from Giles because we get to learn that Aunt Dora didn't feed the dogs that morning because she was more worried about her Mon Petit Rouge, right? Mm-hmm. So by the time the dogs get to Giles, they're starving. They're leaping on Giles. He's able to run away, but after he runs away, I guess he implies a heart attack. So it's now Aunt Dora's fault that Giles is dead. And that's why he's saying, "Why didn't you feed the hounds?"
Yeah.
I would still be alive today if you didn't feed the hounds.
Yep.
So the girls witness that. Okay, then they run back up into the barn and they're locked in somehow. We don't know who locked them in. Was it Giles? And they even cut to the Midnight Society, and Kristen, the storyteller, says nobody knows who locked them in the barn. It even could have been another member of the family. And I'm just like, come on, dude.
Yep. I was not feeling it.
So now that they're in the barn and they're locked in, they start to hear dog noises, right?
Yep.
Growls, grunts, some scary music too, probably.
Yep.
And now it's Aunt Dora. She goes, "Oh, it's time to feed the dogs, Amy. Let's let the dogs out and feed them." And for the last 10 minutes of the episode, we're still doing this in slow motion. The music is slow. They're moving so slow, all right?
Yeah.
So Amy is afraid that Aunt Dora is going to feed Amy to the dogs because she's terrified. Mm-hmm. So Amy wrestles Aunt Dora into like what I guess is a horse cage. I've never spent a day on a farm before. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
I think
a
it's
cage
one
for
of
prisoners.
Yeah.
Because the barbed wire, or not the barbed wire, but the chain link went all the way up, and I don't know what animal that's for.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. I'm not really sure.
Right. So after Amy locks Aunt Dora into the person cage that's in the barn, I guess, Aunt Dora says, "You got to get me out. We need to feed the dogs." And Amy goes, "No way. Tell me how to feed the dogs and then I'll let you out." Because she's convinced she's going to throw Amy in and then bye-bye Amy. So Aunt Dora says, "It's the kibble over there. It's in that clearly 150-pound bag that you have to drag from one side of the barn to the other."
Yeah.
Which is going to take 3 minutes, by the way.
Yep. That'll help us get this episode, to the length that we needed to go. So
good gravy, dude. So she finds the kibble, and the whole time she's looking for it, Aunt Dora is escaping from the cage, right? She uses her belt or something. I didn't see that part. But she unlocks was it a belt that she used to unlock the door? Did you see what it was?
I think so. I don't know. I might have fallen asleep.
Yes. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward just a little bit. All right. Amy spills the kibble.
Yep.
All over the floor in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, Aunt Dora opens the door that the dogs are behind. Now the dogs come running in. There's maybe like 10 of them. I don't know. And Amy runs up this mountain of hay. Now she's at the top and the dogs are leaping at her. They're hungry. They're very scary looking. She looks to her left and what does she see? A little red fox that kind of smiles at her and runs away.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the ghost of Mon Petit Rouge, because what happens is the dogs are now turn their attention away from Amy to the fox, and the fox leads them out the side door of the barn. That was there the whole time. I just realized, shit, dude. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leading out of this episode, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right, cool.
No kidding.
So here's a couple more bullet points real quick. Amy leaves the barn, all right? She sees Dora ride off on her horse, I guess. And I'm just reading my notes verbatim at this point. Amy sees the staircase. She runs up the staircase. So now she's back in the attic. All right. Amy sees Pam and wait a second. Amy's by herself. She goes, "What am I going to tell Pam's mom?" I forgot her name already, about what happened to Pam, because she's going to have to explain that we saw Giles. Pam ran off on a horse after some dogs were chasing a little fox. And she's like, "What am I going to tell Pam's mom?" And then all of a sudden, Pam comes out from the closet of clothes going, "Hey, tell my mom what?" And it's not Aunt Dora anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, here's one of the things that we've talked about at least once already before, but now this was like the most glitch in the Matrix episode that we've seen so far. Would you agree?
I think so. Yes.
There's ghosts and there's like dimensions, time travel and stuff, but this is like if you were to rate these episodes, or if you were to kind of categorize, this would be a glitch in the Matrix episode for sure. Now, here's what I like about how they ended the episode, all right? 2 things happen. Pam looks at Amy, who's like getting over her distraughtness and realizing she's back in the real world and has to either forget about what just happened or learn to live with it. Pam goes, "Come on, we have to feed the dogs."
Yep.
And Amy goes, "Wait a second, you only have 1 dog, but you said you have to feed the dogs."
Yeah.
And then Pam goes, "Get over it." I was like, whatever.
Get over it.
And Amy's still like, "You have 1 dog. You said you have to feed the dogs and you only have 1 dog." And Pam's just like, "All right." And
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah. I didn't mind that part.
For sure. And then the second thing too is Amy reaches in her pocket, pulls out a handful of kibble. So it's just those 2 little things to tack on the end there that makes you wonder, it couldn't have been just a dream, because there's physical evidence of her being on the other side with this kibble in her pocket, which I love, dude. So can we be done with this episode now?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Dope. Cool, man. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. Normally, I probably would cap off an episode, and I realize, like you said at the top of the episode, that when you make this many of something, there's bound to be a couple of flops. So, and this happened to be one of them. Especially for season 1 thus far, I think it goes without saying, and I think it's pretty unanimous at this point that this episode is definitely that one. It's definitely the worst one we've watched thus far. It was tough. It definitely had its moments where it was good.
True. It wasn't all bad.
It wasn't all bad, but it was, to me, the writing, the music, and the delivery was basically why I could not just, it was too much. It was too much and not enough.
Oh, you know what's funny? I mentioned earlier that I didn't give it a 0, and I gave it a 1 on purpose, and that's simply because, and you're going to hate me, of the music during the Aunt Dora introduction. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're bound to disagree on stuff, so it's not, but definitely, I mean, I guess there was horses, so I guess we're halfway there with a medieval thing, so maybe that's where they got it. I don't know. Did you happen to write down who made this
That's a bit
music?
of a stretch, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Fisher.
Okay.
Jeff Fisher did the music, and he's so far, I don't know a whole lot about his career or Ray Fabi's career, the other guy that does the music sometimes, but so far Ray Fabi has much better musical episodes than Jeff Fisher does.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree.
Dude, everybody, 2 things. Go to your local pizzeria.
Yes.
Have them put some hot sauce on your cheesy bread and then try it out. Okay, tell us what you think.
Yes.
And then go get a custom Nickelodeon splat sign from Mini 3D Print Shop. The link's in the description.
Definitely do that.
All right, babies. Thank you for listening to the 90s Nightmares podcast. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you, everybody. And hopefully next time we'll get I think we both can agree that next episode's going to be a good one. So
They always put the stinkers between 2 like really good episodes. So yeah, you know the next one's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will see you then.
2 weeks later.
See ya.